Now, most people are asking me, what type of people do I teach? Do I teach normal public school? No, not always. But do I take over sometimes in teaching public school if the assistance is necessary? Yes, I do. And I have done so. I have done so. However, I do mostly teach. Number one, I do have my own education center known as Sonacare Education, and Sonacare is the Cherie Fiona Stewart. That is just my name. It is literally just my name, filtered through letters. So it's Sonacare Cherie Fiona Stewart Privatized Education. That's it. And then I also teach royal advocates and adversary children in private homeschool teaching um, because they are about to be bound to go through the same thing that I did, being a royal advocate myself. So I teach them homeschooling etiquette as to how to behave in the outside world, if their desire is to choose to go to public school. I train them how to behave in front of people in the public school setting because I have experienced it, and I train them in what's known as long lasting lengthed stay, how to avoid anything such as suspension or expulsion, and if it does happen to you, how to research why it does happen to you, because it does happen to several of us, and I've gone through it myself personally. Okay? So I found out why it happened to me personally, and it was just sheer uncommon hate. Sheer uncommon hate, of which you've all found out that has come through this Lowe's case that has just begun, where they filed for me to be suspended from Central Peel Secondary School for absolutely no reason other than being black. They didn't know that I was a royal advocate when they had me suspended that day, and they didn't know that I had hairline say as to what was happening in that form. You all heard exactly what Delos advocacy said and what happened and why I was suspended from Central Peel back in 1999 when it did happen. So I do train people in the royal advocacy, those that are royal birthed, those that have adopted the life of Christ in order to know exactly how to behave outside of the state of being in the royal palace, and how to be as normal as possible in the public eye, and how not to allow the public eye to affect what you do personally for you. So, those are the types of methods of teachings that I teach and who I teach, and that's where I find myself more aptitudely to be teaching for the rest of my teaching term, um, because I'm not one to fight for a classroom in the public school. I am just not one for that. And the reason why I am not one for that is because the Royal Advocacy, they already know about video cameras and wiring, and they already understand the visual effects of being where they are and being able to learn in a environment where the teacher is not in the room, and have assistants such as security be able to mend any issues that needs to be mended while they are in the classroom that day. That's it. So that's where my aptitude in teaching is going, but more away from the public school and just in more of a private eye learning in the advocacy of the royal courthouse, just due to the fact that what I know about public school teaching, not only do I not want to be a student in public school ever again. Honestly, I don't even want to teach in the public school. I don't want to teach in the public school. So I'm more comfortable teaching in the advocacy of the royal courts, and that's where I've accepted my full time position. So thank you very much. And thank you once again to the city of Markham for allowing me to learn and to grow and to teach in the public school system to see if that's where I wanted to be as a guiding teacher. However, once again, along with the city of Markham and the royal courts, I have chosen the privatized teaching to accept my full time position as a teacher, especially with the necessity and the use of cameras and wiring being involved in that matter. With that being said, thank you so much, and I'm now a full time teacher, not a part time teacher, and I'm good with that. And I can teach from home. That's the other thing that I like about this address right here that I live at, which I forgot to mention in that tape, but I'm mentioning it here. I can work from home and I can teach at home and I can live at home and be comfortable with my personal things at home that is not someone else's shirt. Thank you.